It's been the biggest rivalry in South Australian softball over the past 5 years. And tonight they go head-to-head in the Spacequake Sports Adelaide Premier League Game of the Week. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to West Beach for this week's matchup between the first place West Torrens Eagles and the second place Port Adelaide Magpies. Both these teams are hot. West Torrens riding a 6-game win streak and sit with an 8-1 record. Port Adelaide, they're hot too. They've won 5 of 6, and with a win on Saturday, they have moved into second place. A win tonight for Port means that they move within striking distance of the top, and a win for West Torrens, well, they open up a massive 8-point gap before November even comes to an end. Welcome, everybody. My name is Eric Ballnar. We're happy to bring you this coverage on beautiful Ghana land thanks to Spacequake Sports and our broadcast partners for tonight. MC Sportswear, that's the pride of Adelaide sports. Australian-made uniforms to last on Port Road in Woodville. And, of course, the West Torrens broadcast partner, Ozball. Get ready for their Summer Sizzler tournament coming with the Savannah Bananas and Party Animals players in attendance in Sydney. Let's get to today's game, and batting first tonight will be West Torrens, and they have a lineup that has been, well, pretty delicious. They've won their last 6 games, and during that time, they have outscored opponents 42-12. That's a pretty hefty clip for West Torrens. They've scored 7 runs a game, and they've really only allowed 2 runs a game in that stretch. They've outscored them 42-12. Their starting pitcher tonight will be Steph Trzynski. She hasn't allowed an earned run this season, so that 12 is buoyed by, well, a couple errors and a couple other starters who pitched very, very well, but that's where that 12 comes from. Port Adelaide, they'll be batting first tonight. They're hitting .327 as a team. They're batting second. And Port Adelaide, they got off to a scary, slow start. They were starting off 0-3 this season, and were looking like they were a sure thing to go 0-4. They were down 6-0 to Sturt before they scored 7 runs in the last inning to hoodwink the Sturt Saints, or the Sturt Falcons, rather, and moved to win that game 7-6. And improved to 1-3 at the time. Since then, they've won 5 of 6 games, including a win over Hills, where Lacey Ham, the starter tonight, pitched a near-perfect game. More on that in a moment. But West Torrens and Port Adelaide getting ready to go. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for West Torrens as you see the umpiring crew start to take their plate, getting ready to go. We might be maybe a minute behind schedule in today's game, but we'll see how that shakes out. Amber Hood will lead things off. She's been probably the top leadoff woman in the competition. She's 12 for 24 on the year. Jordan Harris returns to the lineup after a year off. She became a mom of 2, increasing her family. She's had a productive start to the season. Maddie Scott will bat third. She flies tomorrow to join the Aussie Spirit. That's the national team playing an exhibition series versus Chinese Taipei. Steph Trzynski batting in the middle of the lineup and batting fourth. She is going to pitch as well. Lana Kaesler, very much the heart and soul of this team, batting 5. Sophie Hoyle batting 6. How productive has she been on her 5 for 17 start for the year? Alicia Marchink has been on base a lot, and you know me, I love when 7, 8, 9 get it done. That's how games are won. When you're 7 hitters, Alicia Marchink, who's 6 for 16, that will work. Izzy Benedictson returning back to the softball field this year in a full-time capacity, rather. She's 4 for 22 to start the year, and Sienna Sutton will round things out, batting 9th. There's a look at Ben Lucas. He is the head coach of the Port Adelaide Magpies. They have been around the mark. They've won 1 of the championships. They've been to 3. They were eliminated a little earlier than they would have liked last year, and their team has an overhauled roster with a lot of young players off to college and a whole new suite of imports. And headlining them all, perhaps, is Lacey Ham. That's her on screen now as she steps into the circle, and what a year she is having so far. She's pitched 35 innings. She's struck out 56. She's only walked 6 batters and allowed just the 8 earned runs on the season. She's out of California. She went to San Jose College where she played with, well, fellow Port Adelaide Magpie and Taylor Chillingworth. But she was about as good as you can get on Saturday in a 6-0 win against the Hills. Lacey Ham had a perfect game going into the last inning before she hit a batter And that was that. That was the end of the perfect game. She still had the no-hitter and 11 strikeouts in a 6-0 win. Around the horn for Port Adelaide, we'll start with the outfield. Maslin, Penglaze, and Neves rounding out there. Chloe Davis at third. Morgan Hess, a superstar from Delaware, off to a great start in her third game in this competition at shortstop. Montana Edwards will play second. And really looking forward to watching Riley Donovan, one of the best players in the NAIA. That's the Athletic Independent Association. She's a two-time national champion, and she can slug it. When she comes up to bat, we'll get you through a good number of her numbers. We're not too far away from first pitch. 8:02 will be the first time. Well, we're about ready to go. First pitch about to get underway. Amber Hood steps into the batter's box. Late change in the lineup. Amber Dodd-Magpies out in left field with Penglaze and Neves. Lacey Ham, ball in hand and in the circle, trying to double down on her no-hit effort on Saturday. It's Port Adelaide versus West Torrens. Let's play some softball, and that's over the plate for a strike. Amber Hood has been a prolific top-of-the-lineup batter in this competition. She'll take a pitch on the inside, and taking pitches is something she's quite used to. She often is found near the top of the base on balls categories when all the statisticians here do their final math at the end of the year. She swings at one and knocks it towards right field. Neves dives in and makes the play! Jess Neves with a superwoman effort in right field robs Amber Hood of a base hit. This is going to look good on the MC Sports replay. A highlight reel play to start the game. And the team at Spacequake Sports have to get to work on the reels early in the game today. Here's Jordan Harris, who steps up to bat. She's 5 for 15 on the season with 5 RBIs. Of her 5 hits, she's got 2 triples. She's built sort of a reputation of being one of the faster and more athletic players we've had in this competition. And she goes swinging. We talked to Jordan before the game, talking about going up against someone like Lacey Ham, who's in form right now, the sub-2 ERA, coming off the no-hitter. And Port Adelaide, very much, their season turned around as soon as Lacey Ham entered the lineup. And Jordan said, hey, I'm just going to swing at anything that looks close to the zone. That's all you can really do. Try to get on base. Try to use the legs to get there. That one in the dirt just slipped out of Lacey Ham's hand. Harris has spent time before with the Aussie Spirit and played some softball in that Australian representative team a few years ago that traveled around the United States playing some games. Again, up for Lacey Ham, brings the count even. It's a 2-2 count for number 22. That one just slips off the hand of Courtney Shepard. Shepard, the catcher today for Port Adelaide. She's a transfer from Glenelg Softball Club. This is a 6-team competition in the Premier League. Used to be 7. Glenelg taking a year out of the top division. And Courtney Shepard, one of the better players on Glenelg, moving to Port Adelaide. Harris pops this one in the air. Calling for it in foul territory is Chloe Davis, but that ball has enough get up and go to get out of the way. A good competitive at-bat here from Jordan Harris. Bringing it to pitch number 7, making Lacey Ham work for it after she had a relatively easy day at the office on Saturday. And Harris cracks one to center field. Penglaze has a beat on it. And that's 2 down. Well, two pretty good at-bats, all things considering, for West Torrens, who enter the day with a .310 batting average as a team, but have scored 42 runs over their last 6 games. And this is where they really do their damage. The 3-4-5 part of the lineup, and Maddie Scott, a lefty, steps up to bat. Returned last season from 4 years at college. He spent some times at a JUCO at Odessa before transferring to Eastern Kentucky. Really developed as an infielder and a shortstop, and now has become a key part of the Aussie spirit as they work towards 2028 in the Olympic Games. Scott and the woman standing on deck will join the Aussie spirit tomorrow in Queensland, playing a exhibition series versus the Chinese Taipei. Ball seems to just be slipping out of the hands of Lacey Ham. It's a couple times that has happened now, and she's behind in a count. Scott off to a great start this season, too. 10 for 23 with 7 RBIs. She'll slap one over towards the left base side. That just dribbles foul. Probably lucky for Chloe Davis over at third that did go foul. Maddie Scott has some wheels. See on the MC Sportswear replay. Just holds the line and out of the grasp of Davis. We'll go again on a 2-2 count with 2 out. This is knocked right back to the pitcher. And Lacey Ham has this sail on her, and Maddie Scott is going to round second. She's going to make a play for third. And on what looked like it was going to be a straightforward 1-2-3 inning off the throwing error, Maddie Scott standing at third. And that just caught Donovan by surprise. She didn't have much of a chance on it, but how about the base running from Maddie Scott? Now all of a sudden, Steph Trzynski, who's got 6 hits on the year, and the 4-hitter for the Eagles, can put some real pressure on the board here. Runs are at a premium, particularly when you're defending against Steph Trzynski, who will be in the circle tonight. Often, 1 run is enough to win the game. Trzynski can help herself, and she went swinging for it. Till 1-1 count. It's a great battle between two of the best in the Premier League this season. Lacey Ham versus Steph Trzynski, counterparts in the circle tonight. That just catches an edge for a strike. And there's 2 strikes on Trzynski. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. She goes upstairs. Trzynski chases, and Lacey Ham escapes the inning in which she had a throwing error. But Port Adelaide, at the end of the day, they put a donut on the board, helped by a great diving play from Jess Neves and a strikeout from Lacey Ham. And we're underway at West Beach. We will flip the lineup card over and take a look at how Port Adelaide will line up in the batting lineup. Morgan Hess will lead things off. She's 4 for 7 on the year and out of Delaware University, and she's got some big numbers already. Montana Edwards, she's 8 for 18 to start the year, is batting 2. Riley Donovan is batting 3. Jess Maslin batting 4. Courtney Shepard is batting 5th. Lacey Ham, not too bad if you're 7 for 16, batting 6th. Sasha Penglaze, being productive this year, batting 7th. The woman that made the big diving catch, Jess Neves, at 8. And Amber Dodd Mobius had a huge hit in a win versus Hills on the weekend. She rounds out the batting lineup at 9. Taking a look around the diamond in left field, Sienna Sutton playing for West Torrens. Alicia Marchink in center field. Izzy Benedictson in right. This infield about as good as you get in the Premier League. At third base, it's Lana Kaesler, and she has made numerous highlight reel plays over at third. They show up a lot in those Spacequake Sports reels, the top 10 plays at the end of it, including big moments in grand finals. Maddie Scott, the Aussie Spirit shortstop, is playing shortstop tonight. Jordan Harris at second base, and Sophie Hoyle at first. Amber Hood catching the balls and strikes. And she's catching Steph Trzynski, and what a start to the season Steph has had. Her first 2 games of the year were perfect. It was a 3-inning outing versus Port Adelaide where they won 15-0, and that was 9 outs, 9 strikeouts. That sounds good to me. She followed that up with a complete game, 7 innings, perfect to start the year, and she hasn't been far from it since. Trzynski, 25 innings pitched, has only walked 1 batter, hasn't allowed an earned run, and has 48 strikeouts. She'll go against Morgan Hess, who's gone deep. She's hit a homer already this season in her 2 games she's played. That happened on the weekend, so it's a heavyweight matchup. Hess was in the commentary booth last week. She's in the batter's box this week on Spacequake Sports. Can she play part of the equation that allows Steph's first earned run of the season, and Trzynski gets her to chase upstairs? You heard Hess on the broadcast last week. You'd know she's a deep thinker of the game and then tries to simplify when she steps in between those white lines. Played at Delaware and already has a home run and 2 triples to start the year. Trzynski looking for the outside edge. And you can see by her reaction, she's in a little bit of disbelief from it. Hess, though, has a keen eye and a unique batting stance. And Trzynski rings her up. Strikeout number 49 on the year for Trzynski, and you're going to see a lot of those whenever Steph is in the circle. That time she got the call, and Hess just turns and walks away. Montana Edwards up to bat. She is quietly being one of the most consistent players of this Port Adelaide Magpie team over the last half-decade, certainly in this run of contention. And this year, she might have taken her game to another level. Edwards is 8 for 18, but impressively 6 walks on the year. A South Australian product, a South Australian woman, and she's been promoted to that number 2 spot in the lineup. If she can get on base, there's a few big boppers behind her that can drive her in. Edwards with 8 RBIs on the season, too. That also leads the team. But Trzynski's looking for strikeout number 50 before inning number 26 comes to a close on the young softball season. Just missed outside. Trzynski just got back on the weekend from playing in a tournament in Canberra in the Skins tournament. Numbers were good there too. 30 innings in that tournament, 49 strikeouts, allowed an earned run. So all up between the Skins and the Premier League, that's 55 innings, 1 earned run, 78 strikeouts, and just a couple of walks. No wonder she's joining the Spirit tomorrow. Goes upstairs, it's a walk. It's just the second time Trzynski has walked a batter all season. And we're in late November. But now it's a base runner to someone that has home run power in Riley Donovan. And you want to talk about a superstar matchup, this is it right here. Donovan's numbers at Southern Oregon are stupid, for lack of a better word. And she swings at the first pitch. It's popped up in foul territory, and Sophie Hoyle makes the play, and that is a huge out. In 186 games at Southern Oregon, she had 51 homers and 246 RBIs and a .473 average, two-time national champion. She got her out on the first pitch on soft contact in foul territory. Jess Maslin, 7 for 19 on the season, has won a Kath Coral medal. That's the MVP honors. Best and fairest in this competition. Again, a consistent performer, usually near the top of most offensive statistical categories, no matter what sport she plays, softball or baseball. Takes a pitch on the inside. Last year, she was on the Team of the Year defensively. Well, she went chasing on one, jammed a little bit. It dribbles all the way to the wall. But Trzynski is a strike away from getting through the first inning scoreless. Maslin as focused and powerful as they come. She's got home run power too. And she gets the called strike. Maslin doesn't like it. Trzynski will take it. It's 2 strikeout looking to go along with that walk and that pop out in foul territory. And both pitchers trade zeros to start a game in which it's a showdown between number 1 and number 2. Will West Torrens coming back to the plate, and they are brought to you by Ozball Australia. Ozball, great organization. They take the chance by introducing innovative tournament formats and exploring opportunities with local communities and making ideas a reality. They're big picture thinkers, the guys at Ozball. Big supporters of softball, big supporters of baseball. Their Aussie Drop Bear USA softball tours right now are available for the 12s, the 14s, the 16s, and the 18s. A great chance to get overseas, play some different competition, enjoy softball with mates, get some great coaching, great mentorship. Hey, Danny Moffat, who's standing over at first base right now, will even be there too. She's doing a great job as the assistant coach with West Torrens this year. She'll be one of the head ones with Ozball. Proud broadcast partners. This is a community-run broadcast. We can't do it without you. Lana Kaesler, Sophie Hoyle, and Alicia Marchink are due up in this inning. All of them productive. Lana Kaesler has been on base 9 times this season. She's got 9 runs. Lana gets on, Lana scores. It's turned into a pretty simple equation. She's 5 for 21 on the year, but she's got some good plate discipline too. There's a look at Lacey Ham coming off that no-hitter. Had that error in the first inning for her 1 base runner. The 11 strikeout performance on Saturday. From Murrieta in California. Went to Murrieta Mesa. She had an 0.89 ERA in one of her seasons in high school there. And California softball and diamond sports in general is hyper competitive. That was the school record. You see a lot of these California players come through, and it's almost a case of iron sharpening iron in that California hotbed of softball and diamond sports. That pitch on the outside, she was looking for the strikeout punch. But these players grow up playing with and against each other, and that just makes you better. The 2-2. Just on the outside. Umpire Toby back there behind home plate. A few pitchers have attacked that spot. It's consistently been called a ball. Full count to Kaesler. And a leadoff walk. Well, two pitchers that don't give up many base runners. When you get a base runner on using your leadoff, it certainly feels like you have to take advantage. It'll be the bottom half of the lineup, but if you rank bottom halves of the lineup around the competition of this South Australian Premier League, West Torrens probably right up there at number one, if not number one, and one of the reasons they're 8-1 to start the year. Sophie Hoyle, 5 for 17 on the year. Kaesler, a smart base runner as well. Matt Sutton relaying the signals over at third. This is cracked to left field. It's a base hit for West Torrens. They'll have runners on first and second with nobody out. And that is the first hit that Lacey Ham has surrendered in nearly 9 innings. Breaks up a pretty formidable run. And now 7, 8, 9 in the lineup have a real chance to put up a big number. We'll see if they call for a bunt with runners on first and second and nobody out, and that's what Marchinks is showing. Couldn't get it off, and that tips behind. A few schools of thought, as previously noted, as what you do when you have runners on first and second and nobody out. The wise and conventional thought is it doesn't matter. You bunt every time with runners in first and second, and you move those two runners into scoring position. And Marchink pulls back, so it will be a ball. And you give the next couple batters in your lineup more mathematical chances to score that run. And in a game with two elite pitchers, runs you know will be at a premium. It's a 2-1 count for Lacey Ham now. Marchink has worked 6 walks this season. That one is popped straight up, moving back on his Courtney Shepard, and that probably takes away the bunt opportunity now. If you bunt and it goes foul, and it's the third strike, it's just the third strike. You're out. A quick change in approach for Alicia Marchink. She goes swinging. It's a good cut. And it's fouled straight back. You can feel how important this first run is for either team. The mathematics say that when you have runners on first and second and nobody out, you're going to score a run. For Port Adelaide, it also becomes damage limitation. You cannot let a big number get on that scoreboard, knowing who you're pitching against. Swing and a miss. Lacey Ham wins a big-time battle. West Torrens don't advance the runner. It's strikeout number 2 on the day. And now Ham will go against the 8 and 9 batters in Izzy Benedictson and Sienna Sutton. And a chance to escape. She'll take a ball on the inside. Sienna Sutton has just had 6 at-bats. She's batting next. And Izzy Benedictson, 4 for 22 to start the year. But Benedictson had a big hit for West Torrens in their 5-2 win over Seacombe on Saturday. And that was a game they really had to work for. Seacombe hung tough with them for the whole game, but it was 2 big 2-run innings. They were down 2-1. They came back. They went up 3-2 and kind of got a few insurance runs late. Benedictson had one of those big hits in the sequence of runs. 2 strikes against her now. The 1-2. And it's a called strike on the inside edge. And after allowing a walk and a single to start the inning, back-to-back strikeouts from Lacey Ham. Sienna Sutton, one of the youngest players on this West Torrens side. She's 1 for 6 on the year. She could get a base hit, too. It would be the biggest one of the season, no doubt. Lana Kaesler standing at second. Courtesy runner over at first. It looks like it's Hoyle. Top of the lineup and Amber Hood, followed by Jordan Harris, are next up. And they can bring some thunder. Instead, it's the second strike. It's a 1-2 count. Runners on first and second, nobody out, but 2 straight strikeouts for Lacey Ham and Port Adelaide, and they're 1 strike away from escaping a jam. Crisis averted. Lacey Ham returns serve with 3 straight strikeouts and escapes despite allowing 2 base runners to start the inning. It's 4 strikeouts on the day, and 2 of them were looking. And Lacey Ham puts another 0 on the board. Pull things over for Port Adelaide, who will come up to bat, and a good chance to mention our broadcast partners in MC Sports. Australian-made uniforms to last, all the latest and hottest baseball and softball gear. Go check them out on Port Road in Woodville. If you're part of the softball community here in South Australia, there's no doubt you've wandered in to see the team and the family at MC Sportswear. That's who they become. They become family. Steph Trzynski in the circle right now. Big thanks to a few of our other broadcast partners. We will be awarding the Easton play of the game. Sometimes it's a moment, sometimes it's a key hit, sometimes it's just pure power, like a big home run or triple that broke the game open. They'll get a $30 voucher to Easton. We also have our Carve Eyewear player of the game. Steph Trzynski's one of those already this year. She swapped out her glasses at the broadcast booth before. From white to pink, those glasses changed. Maybe she'll wear a white pair today. If she wins that one again, she would also theoretically get a $20 voucher at the Arkaba Hotel. Courtney Shepard steps up to bat. She'll lead things off for Port Adelaide. Lacey Ham will follow, and Sasha Penglaze rounds out the 3 that are due up. It's the 5, 6, 7 part of the lineup for Port Adelaide. Trzynski gets her swinging for the first strike on the board. Shepard sharing some catching duties behind the plate this year with Port Adelaide. Dribbles one. It's a tricky play. Picked up by Trzynski and a sidearm toss. A tricky play for Trzynski. She makes it look easy. They'll laugh about it. But an awkward one. A quick release, and it's a tough one because you have that runner. Ooh, that one hit off the back of the plate. Either way, Amber Hood gets called off, and it's almost a sidearmer with a little hook to that ball going into the first basewoman in Sophie Hoyle. A tricky play. That's some good fielding from the pitcher. Lacey Ham up to bat. Ham is 7 for 16 on the season so far. She was inserted into the lineup after a couple paperwork issues, I suppose, when Port Adelaide were 0-3 and needing a win. They were playing Sturt. They went behind 6-0 in that game. Ham was a big part of that team that scratched and clawed their way back, scoring 7 in the last inning to get the mojo going for Port Adelaide. It's a 1-2 count. Got her. And Trzynski has that fall off a table. First 2 strikeouts of the day were looking. That one was swinging, and that will look cool on the MC Sports replay. See ya. That one dropped. Already was attacking that outside edge. And Sasha Penglaze has no base runners to work with. Strikeout number 3 for Trzynski. She's averaging close to 2 strikeouts an inning. Not quite 2. Maybe 1.85 if my math is correct. Entered the game with 48 in 25. She's about to finish inning number 27, and she's on 51 now. While Trzynski's gone and away, they'll have to rely on likely Talia Sutton, who was great on the weekend again, and Asha Scott. They've been really, really good for West Torrens. Trzynski, obviously, another level, but those 2 pitchers have been great, and the big reason why West Torrens are 8-1 to start the year. It's so rare you see now in this Premier League competition just one pitcher shoulder the whole load. I know we saw it last year with Taylor Cottle, who pitched all but a handful of innings. But Trzynski gets her swinging. But you really do need a second and often a third option if you want to go deep in the finals. Port Adelaide have that option. Likely Morgan Hess will come in and pitch some meaningful innings. That's when Lacey Ham isn't rolling on no-hitters. Penglaze hanging tough. Full count. That's one lost softball to the dugout gods. Cracked over to third, but right to the glove of Lana Kaesler. It was a good piece from Sasha Penglaze, but Lana Kaesler, I don't think, had to move an inch. We'll see it on the replay. Kaesler, stop, and she just moves the glove maybe an inch or 2 up, and that's all she needed, and it ends the inning. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Steph Trzynski. She's allowed just the 1 base runner so far. Lacey Ham and Steph Trzynski going toe-to-toe in a shutout. Don't go anywhere. Back at the top of the lineup for West Torrens, Amber Hood, Jordan Harris, and Maddie Scott due up for the Eagles of West Torrens. Hood, what we thought had a base hit in her first at-bat in the first inning. It was a shot to right field, but Jess Neves with a superwoman dive in right field robbed Amber Hood of a base hit. 3 base runners so far in the 2 innings for West Torrens in this 0-0 game. An error, a hit, and a walk. 3 different ways of getting on base. Ham trying to drop as well. Maybe they can complete the bingo card. Get on, what is it, the 7 ways to get to first. The drop third strike, the catcher's interference, the hit by pitch, the error, the intentional walk, the hit. The 3 most common have been achieved. Lacey Ham had a hit batter in her last outing. She was perfect until the last inning. But then she hit the first batter she faced to ruin the perfect game. But still a no-hitter at the end of the day and a big win for Port Adelaide. And there's a walk for Amber Hood. Second straight inning for West Torrens. They've brought the leadoff runner aboard, but the complexion feels a little bit different this inning, doesn't it? Jordan Harris and Maddie Scott are the ones that follow Amber Hood. Harris drops down the bunt. She can fly down the line. Picked up cleanly. It was Donovan moving in. That is a difficult play to make with the wheels of Harris. She does her job, Jordy does. Sacrifices herself, but you can see off the plate, Donovan comes in, the scoop, the transfer, the fire. It had to be a rocket over to first where Edwards was covering. But now for the national team member in Maddie Scott, she's got a runner in scoring position, and that's a nice-looking swing. Scott, a very well-rounded player, has cemented herself in the Aussie spirit just in the last calendar year. Performed really well at the university games in China back in August, I think it was. That's a called strike. And Trzynski, another national team member, standing on deck. This is the part of the lineup you would ask for with a runner in scoring position. And it's cracked up the middle, right towards center field. Getting the wave around is Amber Hood. She will score easily as the ball was bobbled in center, but Maddie Scott drives in the first run of the ball game. That's why she's on the spirit, and then it took a funny hop off the foot of Penglaze, but Scott made contact, was out of the box, and it was an easy run scored for Amber Hood and a big celebration from Maddie Scott. It's her 8th RBI of the season. It's her 4th extra base hit of the season. But the RBI double makes it a 1-0 game for West Torrens with 1 out. Now Trzynski settles in. She's 0 for 1 in the game, 6 for 16 on the season. That pitch on the outside. Scott has been on base 2 times now in this game. Swing and a miss, Trzynski. It's a 1-2 count. Still a runner in scoring position and oh so important. You feel like a 2-run lead versus West Torrens and Steph Trzynski feels like a 4-run lead against other teams. You want to keep this a 1-swing game. There's so many players on this Port Adelaide team that have that 1-swing power that can change a game. Instead, the product from San Jose College will settle in for the 2-2 count versus Trzynski. Again on the outside. Swing and a miss. It's the second strikeout that Ham has against Trzynski today. It's number 5 on the evening. And now there's 2 outs. Still a runner in scoring position. Kaesler walked in the first inning and broke up a run of, well, entering tonight, she had been on base 9 times and scored all 9 of those times. That streak comes to an end for tonight. She led off the second with a walk. Sophie Hoyle followed with a single, but second base was as far as Lana Kaesler got. It's a good-looking pitch, just missed the spot. Pitch up high. Runner's going to advance to third. There's the throw. Tag can't be applied. Swing and a miss, 2-2. You always think back to that grand final and help break a bit of a drought for West Torrens. Kaesler climbed the ladder and made a game-changing defensive play, catching a ball at short and then popped one over the fence. Then her next at-bat, just looking for that call on the outside. It's going to be full. An animated Morgan Hess at short. Loved that pitch. Swing and a miss on one upstairs. RBI double to Maddie Scott. Highlights a third inning for West Torrens where they broke the deadlock, but that's all they get. A runner stranded at third and 2 straight strikeouts to end the inning for Lacey Ham, but West Torrens have themselves a 1-0 lead. You take a look at the standings right now in the Premier League here in the Adelaide City competition. West Torrens sitting atop of the table. They're 8-1. They've got 16 points, just the 21 runs allowed on the season. 2 points for a win in this competition. Hills Heat and Port Adelaide locked in second place. They're both with 5-4 records. The edge does go to the Hills Heat, because the first tiebreaker is runs against. They've just allowed the 35 to Port Adelaide's 47. Seacombe hold down that last final spot. They've got 9 points, 4 wins, a draw, and 5 losses. Walkerville, the reigning premiers, have some work to do. 7 points on the outside looking in with a 3-1-6 record. And Sturt, who've been hoodwinked late a couple of times this year, are 2-7. with 4 points. They are playing on the backfield right now. Jess Neves up to bat to start the bottom of the third. We've reached the approximate midway point of this game. Games are either 7 innings or 90 minutes, whatever comes first. This game started today at 8:02. So no new inning can be called at 8:27. So approaching the halfway mark. Neves, a veteran of the league and a former Stars player. Stars being the representative senior state team here in the Premier League competition. It's a 1-2 count. Line on Trzynski so far. 2 innings pitched, no hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. 2 of those strikeouts looking. Full count. Good chance to get the leadoff runner on here. Amber Dodd Mobius, the 9-hitter, and then Morgan Hess step up. That's the equation right now. Can you get a base runner for the big hitting Morgan Hess? Well, it won't be Jess Neves. It's strikeout number 4 for Steph Trzynski. Here's Amber Dodd-Mobius. Had a big triple last time out. The 6-0 win over Hills was an impressive one for Port Adelaide on the weekend. Not only did you have the no-hitter from Lacey Ham, but Morgan Hess, who's on deck, she homered. And Amber Dodd-Mobius, who's up to bat right now, had a big triple that sort of changed the complexion and momentum of that game. Had Hills won that game, they would have been 4 points clear of Port Adelaide. Instead, Port Adelaide win, and now it's a tie at second, and Port Adelaide can move alone into second place with a win tonight and cut a gap just to 4 points to West Torrens. A loss, and West Torrens shoot out to an 8-point lead this early in the season. That's a healthy buffer they will have built themselves if they can hold on to this 1-0 game here. 2 strikes on Amber Dodd-Mobius. Swing and a miss, and Trzynski gets her to chase one on one outside. 5 strikeouts on the day. First time through the lineup, only the 1 base runner, and it comes from a walk. Well, Morgan Hess steps up to bat. Four hits in the competition in her first 2 games. 2 of them were triples, and 1 of them was over the fence for a homer. Hess has a whole bunch of accomplishments as a pitcher and a hitter while playing at Delaware. As a hitter, she hit .346 in her senior season with 8 homers and 39 RBIs. In that same year, she pitched 108 innings, just allowed the 39 runs. Opponents hit .209, and she had a streak of 19 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings. She pitched a no-hitter in that season and was ranked number 40 in D1 softball's top 100 mid-major ranking. So that's about half of a list of, you look at it, I got a whole note on just Morgan Hess. But she swings through a pitch there, and Steph Trzynski gets the side out on strikes. It's 6 strikeouts through 3 innings, and we've reached the near midway point, and it's just the Maddie Scott RBI that is the difference so far. Well, once again, West Torrens, their broadcast partner for the season is Ozball Tournaments. There's Summer Sizzlers coming up. I'm pretty sure you can still register for that. It's over that week between Christmas and New Year's over in Sydney. The Savannah Bananas and the Party Animals, they've got a few players that are going to be in Sydney attending that tournament. A fun little tournament just to play some baseball between the Christmas and New Year's period between December 27th and 31st. If you want to play softball, the Oz Drop Bear USA Softball Tours are available right now. That's for next, well, it's American summer, but Australian winter, I suppose. A good school holiday trip for your 12s, 14s, 16s, and 18s. And as I mentioned that it's our winter, I'm being pointed out in the Jill Williams Pavilion by Jill Williams herself, sitting in the Jill Williams Pavilions. And Jill is wearing, I think, probably a long-sleeve shirt, a hoodie, a toque. She's got a little blanket. She's got some warm-looking pants. She's ready for winter on a day that can't be more than 12 degrees here at West Beach right now. It was nice in the day, though. First pitch swing from Sophie Hoyle. Flies out to Morgan Hess, 1 down. It is cold. A record cold month in Adelaide if you're watching from interstate. If the projections go as hold, it'll be the first November since they started recording. This one is slashed out to right field by Marchink, but right to Neves. The first November without a 30-degree day, which is crazy to think about. Not one. Normally you get 1 or 2 in November. They tease you for summer, which starts in December, but they're just doing callbacks, flashbacks, tremors, if you will, back to the, well, I mean, you're probably laughing if you're listening in North America right now, sitting in snow and -6, but the frigid temperatures of 11 degrees in the heat of winter here in Australia. Izzy Benedictson up to bat right now. She's 0 for 1 today with a strikeout looking. Dribbles one over to first. And as quickly as you say hello, you say goodbye to the West Torrens side, who go 3 up, 3 down, and just a handful of pitches. And Lacey Ham settles the ship and will send her bat out to work. Right to Riley Donovan. And a good opportunity for the meatiest part of the Port Adelaide lineup to come up to bat. And if things keep tracking the way they're tracking, this might be their final opportunity to bat in the game. Edwards, Donovan, and Maslin. Edwards is 8 for 18 to start the year, and she now has 7 walks with an earlier one today. Donovan with big power numbers. Her at-bat lasted just one pitch in her last at-bat, and Jess Maslin rounding out the lineup batting 4th. But Trzynski is grooving right now. She sat down her last 8 and 9 of 10 to start the game. Her defense has been good, but it hasn't had to be used often. 6 strikeouts. The other one was a ground out back to the pitcher, a pop out over to first base in foul territory, and there was the line shot from Sasha Penglaze to end an inning right to Lana Kaesler. A ball has not left the infield yet today for Port Adelaide. One was heading there, but Lana Kaesler had other plans. 0-1 count to Montana Edwards. This one popped up in foul territory. Mask deposited, and Amber Hood makes a fantastic catch, diving into the fence. Have a look at the reaction from Amber Hood. No room to spare. She'll record an out. She might need a tetanus shot, but the out recorded either way, and Montana Edwards heads back to the dugout. Here's Riley Donovan. Donovan in 186 games. We brought this up earlier, playing at Southern Oregon. Now remember, think MLB numbers. That's a 162-game season, so these numbers are only 25 games more than your standard MLB season, if you want to translate it to something a lot of Diamond sports fans can understand. 51 homers and 249 RBI in 186 games while hitting .473. That is ridiculous. She averaged over an RBI a game. Well over. Played in Europe. She was playing in Belgium this year, and at the European Championships run by WBSC, she hit .458 in that tournament. She is an impact player that has already hit a home run in this tournament. Well, something's got to break between these two. Last at-bat lasted just one pitch. We're on to number 4 here, and it's upstairs, and it's a hitter's count at 3-1 for Riley Donovan. Trzynski can afford to pitch her fine. She'll know, she does her homework. She'll know what kind of batter Riley Donovan is. Don't give her something to groove. full count. Donovan jammed back to Trzynski, and Trzynski has won both the battles today. And nothing has left the infield. No strikeouts this inning, but a foul out to the catcher, and now a pop out to the pitcher. And that's 10 in a row for Steph Trzynski since she walked the second batter of the game. Pitch on the outside against Jess Maslin. Bottom of the fourth inning. 1 out away from getting out of it, and we're about to hit 9 o'clock. We're a chance to play all 7. This inning's gone quick. Popped up from Jess Maslin. Maslin and Trzynski would have had a long list of encounters throughout their South Australian careers. A 3-1 count. Knocked over to third, and Lana Kaesler. A second straight snag at third base on a lineout. Still nothing has left the infield. But Kaesler with a bit of a save me reaction here. And it's another 1-2-3 inning. Easy as you like for Lana Kaesler, the champion third basewoman. Once again, a big thank you to all of our sponsors of these broadcasts. These are community-run broadcasts, so thanks to you for making them possible. Ozball Tournaments partnering with West Torrens to bring you the broadcast throughout the season. MC Sportswear, our broadcast partner tonight. And don't forget, we've got our Carve Player of the Game. Someone is going to win another pair of sunnies. I say another because in pole position is probably Steph Trzynski right now. She's gone through the first 4. She hasn't allowed a hit, just the 1 walk. She sat down 11 in a row. Maddie Scott, though, is probably in the mix, too. She's got the double. Lana Kaesler might be in the mix, perhaps, for the Easton Player of the Game. Winner also taking home an Arkaba gift voucher as well at Sporty's Bar and Grill. They did a great job renovating that place. I was there a couple weeks ago for a season launch for the baseball team here, and they always seem to impress over at the Arkaba. Turn things over to the bottom of the lineup in Sienna Sutton. And after this, it'll be third time through. Amber Hood stands on deck. She walked and scored back in the third inning. She was knocked home by Maddie Scott. It is the only scoring play in this game so far. Sutton still in high school. She'll lay down the bunt. It's a tricky one. Sutton hustling down the line, and she beats it out. It gets a big reaction from the dugout of West Torrens, and a big high five from Danny Moffitt. I think she was there in plenty of time. Davis crashed in, and that throw wouldn't have mattered. She was there safe before the throw even got there. An infield hit for Sienna Sutton, who hustles it out and puts on a leadoff runner for the top of the order in Hood and Harris. Hood now trying to lay down a bunt. I'll tell you what, all of these players seem to have so much speed. You go Sutton to Hood to Harris to Scott. You just put a ball in play if you're West Torrens, and you like your chances of at least putting on pressure to the defense to get on base. Good cut from Amber Hood. Hood walked and scored. Knocked over towards short. Good pick from Hess. Hess tries to turn two. The ball slips away, and it's going to move Sutton to third. What could have been an out is going to be trouble. Here's a look at the Easton replay. It was a good pick by Hess, but that throw was low away and in the dirt. And now it's a 1-3 split where you have Jordan Harris up to bat, and she's got speed to burn. So put a ball in play, and you have to, well, there's a lot of action that needs to happen. Sutton potentially running home from third, but Maddie Scott, the three-batter who has the RBI, and Steph Trzynski, 4 coming up. A big effort here from West Torrens to put themselves in prime position to blow this one open. Here's the throw, and Shepard's throw gets away. It was a good pick. They tried this to take home, but Montana Edwards was a design play. They were going to try to get the runner at third with the young Sienna Sutton, but that ball looked like it nearly was out of the grasp of Montana Edwards. 2 runners in scoring position. This one straight up in the air, in foul territory. Donovan fights the lights, makes the play, and that is an out that you'll take, and we'll see if they decide to intentionally walk Maddie Scott. It's a bit poisonous if you do, because Steph Trzynski is standing on deck, but do you want the force out is the question. They're going to pitch to her. Maddie Scott already with a double and an RBI today before she flies out tomorrow. She'll lay down the bunt. Scott will, if she called, she'll try to drive in the run. She's cashed in one, and Maddie Scott safe at first, safe at second, and it's a 2-0 game. There's the bunt. Maddie Scott hustling down the line. She was safe at first. Sutton scored from second. It's Maddie Scott 2. West Torrens, or Port Adelaide, nothing rather. A bit of a chaos play, and through all of that, Maddie Scott is standing at second base. Scott advances on the throw. She drives in Sienna Sutton, who reached on her infield single. And now Trzynski, with just 1 out on the board, can really race this one away for West Torrens. Amber Hood stays over at third. And a swing and a miss for Trzynski. She has struck out twice today. Well, that was a good cut. Knocked over towards short. Hess can't bring it in. She'll have to knock it down. She throws the runner out at first. They try to throw the runner out at home. One scores. They're thinking about a second. Hood touches home. It was heads-up base running from Amber Hood. on a throw that got away from Donovan at first. Hess knocked it down. Good job recovering to get the one. There's the throw from Donovan, and Shepard couldn't corral the throw. Hood will score. Maddie Scott advances to third, and it's a 2-run inning and a 3-0 lead. It feels tricky now, given that Steph Trzynski has allowed exactly 0 earned runs on the season so far. She's allowed 1 earned run in her 54 innings pitched combined between Canberra and the Premier League. 59 innings pitched, rather. In the months of October and November, in the innings she's pitched, just 1 earned run in those 59 innings. Now, they've got to score 3 just to tie it. A big inning here, a lot of small ball. Nothing has left the infield. 2 infield hits, 1 of them off a bunt, an error. That's softball. Can Kaesler throw down the hammer and make it a 3-run inning? Scott has a think. Swing and a miss on a pitch upstairs. No ball leaves the infield, but 2 runs tick over on the scoreboard. It all started with the infield single from Sienna Sutton. An error for Amber. Well, when Amber Hood was up, Maddie Scott laid down the bunt, and 2 runs crossed the plate. West Torrens manufacturing runs against one of the best pitchers in the Premier League. And we'll head to the bottom of the 5th, and just 17 minutes before no new innings is called. It's probably 2 more opportunities for Port Adelaide. You can probably score 1 or 2 runs here and try to get 1 or 2 more runs in the 6th. But chances are becoming limited. Steph Trzynski has sat down her last 11 she has faced. And it's the bottom half of the lineup coming up. Can someone produce something for Port Adelaide? If the score holds, West Torrens will move to 8 points clear. And as I say that it might be an 8-point lead for West Torrens, the lead shrinks because Hills has just defeated Sturt on the back diamond, a 7-1 score. So Hills will move to 12 premiership points. For the time being, that's 4 back of West Torrens. That's 2 points clear of the Port Adelaide Magpies. This game, though, feels a lot different than the first time they met this season. It was a 15-0 whitewash, a game that lasted just 3 innings before it was called due to the run rule. And Steph Trzynski was 9 up, 9 down with 9 strikeouts. Two strikes on Shepard. Trzynski today, 6 strikeouts in her 4 innings of work. Full count. Knocked over towards third, scooped up by Kaesler. The throw sails away. It'll be a throwing error on Kaesler, and it's a runner in scoring position. Well, the only way anyone has scored a run off Trzynski this season has been via the red pen. No earned runs on the season. She's allowed a couple of, or maybe one, I'll have to check, maybe one run. But now Lacey Ham, who is 7 for 16 on the season, at least entering tonight, has a chance to try to drive home a run. Leadoff runner aboard and in scoring position. Port Adelaide time to chip away. A couple here and a couple in the next. And a hold would get the job done. Port Adelaide have been sort of the comeback queens of the competition. They have come back from 6-0 down and 7-0 down to come back and win games this season. So it's not out of the realm of possibilities. Lacey Ham takes a pitch on the outside, called strike. Make it 7 strikeouts for Steph Trzynski, and her first strikeout since the third inning. One away. Kind of joked with a couple of Port Adelaide players. One player said to me, yeah, I mean, we've just got to figure out how to channel last inning Port Adelaide throughout the game. That seems to be where they do most of their work. Some big numbers late. Penglay's up to bat right now. 6 hits on the season, swings at a pitch upstairs, and the count evens up at 1. Missed upstairs. 5 pitchers were named to that Aussie Spirit roster that will play a 6-game set with Chinese Taipei over the weekend. The players fly out tomorrow for their first games. I think they start on Saturday. Maybe there's one on Friday. It might be. Trzynski will be one of those players that will throw at some point over the weekend. Follow the Softball Australia pages to find out how you can follow along. Australia play Chinese Taipei. Chinese Taipei, the political and international name in competition for Taiwan, the region of Taipei. Cool experience even for those players to come to Australia, go to Queensland. Queensland would be nicer than here right now. It is a balmy 12 degrees and windy, with remnants of an algal bloom sweeping off the ocean and gracing us here at West Beach, which is about 500 meters from the shores. Those cool ocean breezes you really do feel when those lights go on here at the Diamond Sports facility here in South Australia. Two count. This pops straight up. It creates a bit of a jet stream over towards the left field wall at this time of night, usually the way the wind blows in. On 9 nights out of 10, you get one up in the air down that left field line, it gets a bit more carry. 9 nights out of 10 nights in a week, sure. What am I saying? If you're on the field a couple feet to my right on the baseball diamond, it's just dead center blowing in. If you're a fly ball pitcher, it is a dream to pitch in. Hard hit up the middle. Moving over is Maddie Scott. What a play. Maddie Scott covered a lot of ground easily, and that is just good footwork. Scott charges, gathers, scoops, and had her by a few feet. Now Jess Neves will step up to the plate, still a runner in scoring position. In fact, the runner's moved over to third. Maddie Scott has a couple RBIs, a couple base hits, and now a nice defensive plays. That Aussie Spirit shortstop might be playing her way into a Carve Performance Player of the Game, and the eyeglasses that go with it. Steph Trzynski hasn't allowed a hit. 2 base runners today, a walk and an error, so she is certainly in the conversation. Seven strikeouts to her name as well. If a run does score in this inning, it would not be earned, so the streak would continue. There are 2 outs on the board, and the leadoff reached on a throwing error to Kaesler. Now there's 2 strikes, and there's still 10 minutes to go before no new innings can be called, so we will be playing a 6th. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 8 for Steph Trzynski. Another 0 on the board. And in all likelihood, unless it is a rocket quick inning, it will be our final inning. It is a 3-0 game. Let's do a quick recap as we enter the 6th inning. Lacey Ham, coming off her no-hitter on Saturday, has looked pretty good, but it's been small ball that has got it done for West Torrens. They pressured in the second, but then 3 straight strikeouts from Lacey Ham gets it out of a jam that was runners on first and second with nobody out. In the third, it was a leadoff walk from Amber Hood and then a double from Maddie Scott to make it 1-0. And in the 5th, West Torrens scored 2 runs without a ball leaving the infield. 2 infield hits, one Sienna Sutton leading off with an infield single to third, and then Maddie Scott with a double, or an infield bunt rather. She had the double before. The bunt in the 5th helps score that run, and then an error scores the 3rd. Small ball playing a big part in this game. Lacey Ham is going the distance. The San Jose College graduate back in the circle for inning number 6. She has been pretty good today. Only allowed the 4 hits. 2 of them were infield, but a couple earned runs to her name. And that's a couple too many when you're going up against the likes of Trzynski. This has to be a 0 on the board. 3 times the leadoff runner has reached. As this ball's cranked to left field, that one foul. 3 times the leadoff runner has reached, and twice they have scored. Shows you how important it is to take care of that first batter you face in an inning. Now it's an 0-2 count. Dribble down the third base line. It stays fair. A good pickup from Chloe Davis. And that's a nice looking play by the third basewoman. Just straddles the line. The backhand and an easy throw out. Does that move into contention for the Easton play of the game? Couple contenders for the Easton play of the game. You've got Maddie Scott's 0-0 score-breaking double. Put the first run on the board. How about Sienna Sutton? Reaches on an infield single by legging out a base hit and then later creating those 2 runs. That's the getaway inning right now for West Torrens. Maddie Scott would be in the running for that Arkaba gift voucher and those Carve Performance sunglasses for her 2-hit performance with 2 RBIs. And Steph Drzezinski hasn't allowed a hit, so her name is in the ring as well. Those are probably the names that you're figuring right now to take something home more than the competition points tonight. And a swing and a miss. 8 strikeouts for Lacey Ham, who's turning in another fine performance in the circle. And there's 2 away. Izzy Benedictson steps up to the plate. In the cold West Beach nights. Fouled back. That ball in the dirt as well. This game started at 8:02 local time. No new innings after 85 minutes, and we've just hit 81. So unless it is 4 very quick outs, we are not going to play inning number 7. This game nearly going the distance. Benedictson, plucky, fouls one back, but it's a 2-2 count. Ham entered the day with 56 strikeouts in her 35 innings pitched. She's added 8 to her total today. Can she make it 65 in 41? Called ball, and Ham just stares it down. And a wry smile. Fouled back, great at bat here from Izzy Benedictson. Pitch number 7 incoming. All but guaranteeing that this is the final inning, and she's going to walk because of it. Brings up Sienna Sutton, and she really did provide that spark plug moment back in the 5th inning. A leadoff single down the third base line, an infield single. Well, the scorers coming in with some more candidates for the player of the game. How could we forget? There could be another one in there that I've even forgotten. And the scorers. And the scorers don't forget much. I forget a lot. As Sutton up to bat. They're bringing up a good point. Amber Hood with a great foul ball catch running into the fence to make the play. But let's go back all the way to the first play of the game, the first swing of the game. It's not on the team that's leading the game, but Jess Neves laid out in right field with a great diving catch to rob a base hit on the very first play of the game. Does that enter the chat for the Easton play of the game? And a swing and a miss. So 9 strikeouts today for Lacey Ham. Just the 4 hits, 2 on the infield. A really good performance from Lacey Ham. Unfortunately, no runs to support there, but This looking all but the last inning here in the bottom of the sixth. Big thanks to all our broadcast partners. MC Sportswear, major broadcast partner today. Ozball. Make sure you take a look at the Summer Sizzler tournament in Sydney in between Christmas and New Year's, and their under 12, 14, 16, and 18 girls softball tours coming up in the extended winter that we have that will just last forever and ever and ever from where we are right now. And, of course, to our player of the game sponsor in Carve Eyewear. A player is going to win Sunnies for the player of the game. Maddie Scott probably in pole position for that right now with her 2 hits and 2 RBI. Steph Trzynski, though, has thrown 5 innings and allowed just 2 base runners, 1 off an error, 1 off a walk, with 8 strikeouts. So she's certainly in contention in the Easton play of the game, which is now down, in my mind, to 4 plays. If Trzynski gets the player of the game, then it's going to be Maddie Scott's double is in the equation for that play of the game. Amber Hood made up a catch up against the backstop on a foul territory. Jess Neves on Port Adelaide, a diving catch in right field is in contention. And Sienna Sutton, her infield single, legging it out to get a big getaway inning going in the 5th. Also in contention. There's a few nominees on the cards right now. Don't forget, too, folks, to head to the West Beach Parks website today. There's been some developments today. Released tonight, West Beach Parks released 2 sports precinct plans and a 5 to 10 year master plan, and they want community feedback. It's got some videos, it's got the master plans, and it's all subject to government funding. Survey open until December 15th. Make sure, if you're an active member of this softball or baseball community, if you're watching and you use this facility, probably an important one for you to pay attention to. That's on the West Beach Parks website right now. That's a message from Pete Williams. Wanted to pass that on. He also says, toughen up, Jill Williams, and stop complaining about the cold. And it's a strikeout all the while for Steph Trzynski. It's number 9. Have your say in the comments for who could potentially be the play of the game. And it's a strikeout. Morgan Hess up to bat now. Trzynski looking for yet another no-hitter. Swing and a miss. 0-2 count. Trying to get to double-digit strikeouts again. She was sitting on 48 to start the day. Can she get it up to 58? And now what is her 31st innings pitched? Stick around after the broadcast. We will do an interview on the field with the Carve performer, player of the game, and give them their Sunnies. And, of course, the gift vouchers for the Easton. It could go towards a bat. It could go to any Easton equipment. As well as the gift voucher to Sporties. Morgan Hess, the import, stands in. She's 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts. It's 3. And 10 strikeouts on the day for Steph Trzynski, who is 1 out away from going 6 innings, no hits, 2 base runners off of 1 walk and an error. Looking for another shutout, and she's got to get through Montana Edwards, who worked that walk all the way back in the first inning. West Torrens trying to keep that 6-point gap at the top of the table as Trzynski fires in a rocket. Hills winning on the backfield. Fouled straight back, and now West Torrens 1 strike away. trying to win their 7th straight game in a row. If the score holds, they'll have outscored opponents 45-12 in those 7 games. It has been a dominant run in November. Did she go? She did not. Swing and a miss. Trzynski strikes out the side to end the game. 11 strikeouts in her 6 innings, no hits, 1 walk, and another reached on an error. It's a shutout performance, a win for West Torrens. Maddie Scott goes with 2 hits and 2 RBIs, and some big defensive plays along the way in another win for West Torrens. I'm going to quickly get on the field for an interview, so just be patient for a second. It won't be too long. What do you think? Well, I'm making my way on the field. We'll grab our bat players of the game in a second. A 3-0 win for the West Torrens Eagles. And we've got our 2 interview folks. We'll wait for the camera to get out here. We'll get in the middle here. We've got our 2 players and play of the game. We'll start with the play of the game, taking home the Easton voucher and the voucher code on the back. It's for that ridiculous catch and the tetanus shot you might need in foul territory. Amber Hood. Amber, walk me through a play like that. Like, how do you even track the ball, where it's going on, what goes through your mind? Does anything go through your mind when anything's jumping in there and you've got a fence just a few feet away from you?
Well, 9 times out of 10, they just go over the top, so I think I probably should have gotten to it a little bit quicker, hence the collision into the fence, but yeah. We'll
ask you another question in a second. I'm going to give these Sunnies and get you in position for your questions, Maddie Scott, in a second. But the pitcher today, Steph Trzynski, 11 strikeouts. Again, no hits. I feel like we say this every year, but has she taken her game to another level?
She always does, every single game. She does a pretty good job out there, so we always play really good behind her, so it makes it easy.
Maddie Scott, you haven't done your homework, Maddie Scott. You got to get those Carve Performance eyewear on. We'll put it on there, then we'll ask the question. There you go. The Carve Performer of the game, 2 hits, 1 on the infield single, the other one on the double. Maddie, Lacey was in fine form all year, just the 4 hits. What was the approach going against a pitcher today that was coming off a no-hitter?
I was just thinking expect high, react low. So she throws a lot of up balls, and I was ready for that. And then if it wasn't there, then I was going after something low.
And you're off to join the national team tomorrow for the weekend. Can you tell me what life looks like for you right now? Like, you've got work, you've got everything. How do you balance everything when you're trying to, get a team to the Olympics effectively?
It's really hard at the moment with state and obviously going away. Work all day and then go straight from there to the gym, then practice straight after that. So there's no time at home, really.
Well, we'll be watching you very closely. And finally, Amber, final question here for the West Torrens Eagles. It's 7 wins in a row, 45-12. You got scored opponents in that time. What's working well overall for the team?
Every year we try and come out and score as many runs as we possibly can. Some years we've struggled to do that, and I think this is the first year in a little while that we've been able to come out and score runs consistently throughout the game, not just in a single inning. So, yeah.
3-0 win for West Torrens today. Your Carve Performer player of the game. She looks good in those carved glasses, does Maddie Scott. In the Easton play of the game, Maddie, you also get the Arcaba voucher as well. Catch us next Wednesday for more softball action. West Torrens 3. It's a 7-game winning streak. Port Adelaide, nothing. We'll see you then.